And we're back for the effects of imperialism in Africa. With this topic, Vita, Chloe, and I will be discussing what the effects were of imperialism in Africa. There were many negative effects, but also some positive effects. Chloe, could you start us off?
Okay, so Alex, what is an example of an effect of imperialism in Africa?
One major effect would be conflict. One of the first signs of conflict would be when France seized Tunisia from Italy, or when Britain occupied Egypt, making France furious. This was very dangerous.
Vita, what would be another effect?
I would say another effect of imperialism would be the changing of political beliefs. Africans couldn't get rid of these politics even after the Europeans left. These politics didn't work well in Africa.
If I may add to the effects, one of them is, which is a long-term effect, would be racial discrimination and economic expulsion, which means the Europeans took advantage of their resources for economical benefits. From my understanding, the Europeans who arrived weren't very nice to the natives.
You're right, Alex. They were very controlling of the native Africans. The Europeans even took some Africans as slaves to the New World and forced to work on the plantations without pay. Europeans seized land from the Africans to establish plantations for the growing of cash crops and even forced people to work on these plantations.
So one question I have is, what is the Berlin Conference?
The task of the conference was to agree that the Congo River and Niger River mouths the basin and that it would be neutral to trade. After the conference, France took much of Western Africa. Belgium and King Leopold II controlled the Democratic Republic of Congo. Portugal took Mozambique. Germany took Nam.
So, Chloe, let me ask you a question. Would you happen to know any positive or negative effects of imperialism?
I'll add that the traditions of the Africans were taken away and their ways of life were destroyed. So with every situation comes positive effects. What would be some of these?
Some impacts included the introduction of Christianity, which brought about more religious missions and opportunities. Most of the missionaries introduced education in Africa by creating mission schools to educate the local people. This helped them learn about their culture and some Western culture.
The Europeans even defended the Africans from their enemies. They gave them weapons and taught them to defend themselves. This surely made the Africans feel safer. The Europeans even brought new technology over.
What kind of technology?
The Africans were provided with tools for farming and introduced new crops to the New World. They built more infrastructures like medical facilities, transport, and communication networks, schools, and establishments. Many Africans learned the languages for their rulers, like English, French, and Portuguese, which have given them more advantages to be able to communicate in their present globalized world with little to no difficulties. Imperialism.
More African jobs were created, and some of the people learned new trade. More strong and better institutions were established to govern the people which they exist.
And that was the effects of imperialism in Africa. The amount of positive effects actually surprised me. Tune in again next Friday to see the decolonization of Africa. It was great to have you here with us again, Chloe. Thanks for reporting with us.
Created using Powtoon.